Do not go on that coffee date.
I did go back into the coffee shop.
Had all the things that you think you should have, and it still turned out as a single mom.
I just wanted to show y'all the fit. Hold on. Just a cute little number.
Anytime your wife makes up the excuse that she has a headache to not want to have with you, she's lying.
She's wrong and promises to change. Dump her immediately because it might be a man.
At my age, it's not happening. I started hearing about Southeast Asia, specifically about Philippine women
that are less attractive treat you better.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Now, before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get my videos as soon as I release them. All right, guys, I'm sure you guys remember this woman here who rejected a man for trying to take her out on a coffee date. And you already know that's a big thing. Men are getting rejected for that, right? Take a look at this.
Do not go on that coffee date. Do not go on that boba date. Do not go meet that man for drinks. This man saw you, and his first initial thought wasn't, wow, I'd really love to get to know her over some dinner and a nice ambiance. He looked at you and said, Dunkin'? Starbucks? The amount of messages that I get from men that ask me if I like coffee. No, I don't like coffee. I actually hate it.
Yeah, so she said that, and this is one thing. Women, sometimes when they look gorgeous, sometimes when they're bad, but she's not really that bad. She got makeup on. That's the truth. But sometimes when they have a certain vernacular, right? A certain way they present themselves, they feel entitled. So what happened is the well starts running dry. Yes, the well was running dry for her. And she said, oh, she figured out this guy may actually be a good guy, right? Always happens. Regrets what she did, regrets her mistake she made, right? So she went with that same, she started out with that same feeling she has now. No coffee dates, no TGI Fridays, you know what they say. Then she turned to this.
Update on yesterday's coffee.
I say, hold up, wait a minute.
On yesterday's coffee
More filters.
experience. I suggest that you guys watch part 1 of this series where I will be trying my hand at dating in real life, and then I'm going to try my hand at the Tinder app and see how that goes. So update on yesterday's experience. I did go back into the coffee shop.
Do not go on that coffee date
And strike up a conversation with him. It went very well. I tapped him on the shoulder and I was like, hi. I introduced myself. My name is Veronica. We had a brief conversation. He's very well spoken, very charming. You know the guys that are charming without really having to try? That was him. Witty, funny, just all the vibes were there. But unfortunately for me, he is not available.
Rejects have been rejected.
He told me that he's in a relationship. They've been together for about 1.5 years now. They're doing the long distance thing. I didn't get his number because, first of all, he's in a relationship at the end of the day. So in conclusion, I don't think in real life is for me. I'm putting myself in such a vulnerable state. It takes a lot of courage for someone to go up to somebody, especially as a girl, and then being let down on top of it. Even though he was really sweet about it, it's just uncomfortable. And I don't like that. So I'm gonna head over to the Tinder app and see how that goes for me. Hopefully I have better luck. So we'll see.
So she tried the guy, right? She tried a guy in a coffee shop. Then he had someone now. He has a girlfriend. So now, of course, she's upset. She's not gonna show it. She's not gonna be like, oh. But how she shows she's upset is by saying, I'm going to give up. Like, first thing they run to. Why? They're not used to feeling rejection. I expect that. I expect most women to say, oh, I give up. Because they're not used to it. Men, we go through it all the time, all day. We've gotten so used to it now. We just don't talk anymore to certain girls. Or to girls we feel like are not interested, or just in general, we just don't do it. And I understand why.
How a man treats a woman he finds unattractive is how he feels about women.
Not all the time.
How he gives when he has nothing to gain is how generous he is. And who he is when nobody is watching is his level of character.
Not true all the time, right? Because I'll tell you this. I know guys, plenty of guys, that will smash. There's a lot of guys that do this. What the other lady said, she was sort of right, right? She dealt with some jerks that she probably shouldn't have been dealing with. But I know guys that will smash a woman that's no other guy would smash just to get by. Actually, that's what a lot of guys are dealing with nowadays. Yes, guys will feel more comfortable talking to them, and guys will actually give women who are not as attractive more time of day. And I have videos of women saying that. Why is that? Because they're approachable, right? One of those things that turns guys on actually is knowing I can approach this woman, knowing her head is not in the clouds, because I can't reach her to pull her down with me, because that's what it takes to understand if you want to be with somebody, or to know if they like you, or for them to know if they like you as well, is coffee date, talking, seeing how the person is. But a lot of times nowadays, that's not possible.
I didn't have no unplanned pregnancy. I was established. I had all the things that you think you should have, and it still turned out as a single mom.
No excuses. I repeat, no excuses.
I still had to figure it out by myself at the end. You can still think you're ready for it, and then find out you were not ready for it at all. With everything that comes with, like, your baby daddy, the baby will change the relationship. I don't care how in love you are. Them men cannot stand that attention to change and go to somebody else.
And that's a fact. I heard a pastor, y'all know I'm not religious at all. So of all people, I heard a pastor say, when you get your wife pregnant, enjoy her because you're going to miss her. And that's very true. And I know this is Miss B Nasty, but I love to hear a woman's perspective on it, because it's very different than a man's perspective, but just as valid, right? Like, guys love to complain about, like, hey man, after she had them kids, no more head, no more this, no more that. You've served your purpose in her biological, like, reasoning for even being with you. I don't know how true that is, but that's what it feels like. Well, I'm here to give a male perspective. Imagine, ladies, if your man is chivalrous, pays all the bills, holds all the door, all the stuff, takes you on date nights, does all the stuff, and somehow or another he gets pregnant in this weird hypothetical world, and then pops out a baby, and now he don't hold doors no more. He don't pay bills anymore. He doesn't protect you anymore. No, none of that. All of his efforts are toward this baby for 2-3 years. 2-3 years. And yeah, you love the baby too. But like, even when the baby's asleep or with the grandparents, all he wants to do is sleep and relax and recharge. Wouldn't you be a little pissed off? Just like, there's understanding, don't get me wrong. And I'll never understand these people who like get pregnant 6 weeks after they have a baby. Don't piss me off. Half of sex is getting the other person off. Like, what are we talking about? If somebody's uncomfortable because they got ripped up down there, what the can you even want that? That's crazy. But that's neither here nor there. But y'all do have to understand, like, one day he was married to a woman who y'all both show love and respect for each other and all this and did all this for each other. Then he had a child and all of that cut off. People love to try to act like, oh, it's not that dramatic. It is literally that dramatic. It is that dramatic. And I hate when people, like, I can see a woman's perspective. Like, I'm taking care of a child. True, I give y'all all that. That postpartum shit ain't nothing to play with. But you have to also see it from a man's perspective. Like, damn, this is a whole different person than I married. And I miss that motherfucker. And it's going to take about 4 years for you to get her back. 4 years. Marry the fact that you ain't going to have her back for years, bro. She going through so much physically, mentally, and emotionally. She may never even get back to that person she was. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about just like seeing you as the man she saw you as before you had the kids, even if you didn't change at all.
That's why the thing that was most important to me was marrying a woman that truly believed in the marriage vows, right? All the way, meaning She was a lady that saw in her own eyes, I'm not going to change who I am now. I'm not going to change my love for you. When you get with a woman that believes in that, it's a difference, right? I'm not trying to bash Western women. I know postpartum is a thing. It's hard to go through. I've had my son, his mother went through it. I was there. But this is the thing. Even that, it still didn't change for me. I guess I was blessed because I didn't go through what a lot of guys go through. But I'm happy I never really had to go through that, because if I did, you probably wouldn't be able to function. I mean, we are men at the end of the day. So if the one you're with is not giving it to you, where are you going to get it from? It's going to be somewhere. Actually, most ladies know that, and it's a good thing, but who wants someone to feel like they have to give it to you? Like, just want to. Just want it. Come on, baby. Come love me.
My prince. Here you go, my love. The prettiest flowers for the prettiest boy, as you are a gateway to my heart, and you make every day feel like a blooming field of roses.
No! Never pull out thy chair by thyself. That is a woman's job.
Wait! I'll walk on this side, babe. I shall not put you in danger's way, as I am a woman, and it's my duty to protect you.
Women have said for hundreds of years that men age like a fine wine. Well, baby girl, fine wines are expensive. Drizzle, drizzle. Get ready to spend. If you can't give me your flyer miles to take me somewhere that I haven't been yet, which is 24 countries, then it just shows me that you don't value fine wine. Drizzle, drizzle. It means you've never had it. You've never been good enough to have it. You've never been able to afford it. And if you can't afford a fine wine or never have it, how can I trust you to treat me right like the fine wine that I am? Drizzle, drizzle.
Now, of course, that was a comedy. She was trying to be funny, but they're overdoing it when all we want is a little reciprocation. Give a man that. Come on now. Like this here, all this comedy to prove your point. It's not really proving the point. It's not funny. It's showing I refuse to change. A lot of you may be joking, but still, I'm sure most of you, not even a lot of you are joking. I'm sure most of you are serious and you're joking about it, but because a lot of jokes are the truth, and you're showing it.
My bad. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I just wanted to show y'all the fit. Hold on. Just a cute little number. Number 1, 2. You know.
One second. Respectfully, of course. Sensational.
Sensational indeed.
I don't know what man needs to know and understand this, but anytime your wife makes up the excuse that she has a headache to not want to have with you, she's lying. She's lying to you, and it's a premeditated lie because you cannot physically see a headache. Just remember, your wife will never turn down the Chads, the Tyrones, the guy down the street, any guy that gives her emotional security. Do you think she's making up excuses? These are the same types of women that will look at you crazy when you say that your love language is physical touch, and here you are spending 10 years asking for back rubs because she's never going to initiate any kind of intimacy because she doesn't believe that you deserve it as a man. And the irony is that so many women love to point out what big liars men are, but they never stop to consider the amount of times they've lied about having a headache because they don't want their husbands to touch them. And you should absolutely take it as a form of rejection because she doesn't know how to tell you that she doesn't like you or doesn't want you to touch her, so she's using a headache as an excuse, as if that's not manipulative. And the other interesting part is the way that women swear that they're the better communicators, but then if women are the better communicators, then why does this issue even exist? And don't forget, she gets this sense of entitlement where she gets to use her hormones and her period to further her excuse to having a headache. And you'll even maybe be gaslit so far that you're going to tell her that she needs to go see a doctor because she has so many headaches. But this is the same woman that can go out with her friends. This is the same woman that can drink numerous glasses of wine without a headache. But yet she suddenly has a headache when it comes to you. And does no one else find it problematic that women are so comfortable with lying about something so small? It makes you wonder what else they're lying about.
I couldn't agree more.
If you're a man and you're constantly going through that in every relationship you're dealing with, you have to have more of a backbone, like develop something. Look at this guy here.
You finally get with someone that her feelings matter more than yours, meaning that.
Now look what he's saying. When you finally get with someone, her feelings matter more than yours. You see this guy in blue? You see how sad he looks? It looks like this is sim school. He's like, when you get with someone, her feelings matter more than yours. My boy here in the New York hat, he could be from New York too. He looks so sad, like he just got finished crying. Right? Her feelings matter more than you. This is what he's hearing. Listen to it.
You doing something to disrespect her will make you feel hurt because you're hurting her. When you get to that point, bro, that you don't want to ever see this person hurt, that's when you know this person is really the person for you. When you finally...
My man look off. He do. I used it for that example only because this man looks so sad.
If you meet a woman and she apologizes, admits she's wrong, and promises to change, dump her immediately. Because it might be a man. Women never do that.
Don't you agree, Mr. Feather?
Word. There are women fasting for husbands and praying for husbands when the Bible says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord. It doesn't say a woman who finds a husband finds a good.
Now, when I think about it, it does say that. A man who finds a wife finds favor from the Lord. It says nothing about, and then the desperation in praying is wild. Let me let him cook.
Finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord. What is the promise for a woman when you find a husband? Like there should be no desperation for a husband. Like your focus should be on preparing yourself. Like you are working on you, but you're not praying for no husband because your husband is praying and your husband is praying for you. You shouldn't be crying about a husband. You shouldn't be pouting about a husband. You shouldn't be mad with God. You shouldn't be in a future wives support group. You shouldn't be fasting for a husband.
He's right. And it's wild because nowadays so many are desperate. When people have told them, focus on that. Secure that. Not the bag. Not the next guy. Not the next Chad. Not the next Tyrone. Secure a husband. Make that your first priority. And you should be doing it right when you're in college. Instead of focusing on a degree, yes, get that degree. But get your man to be.
I swear, if I could go back in time and tell the woman that stood up for our right to work, I would.
Do you know how many different women are feeling like this nowadays? Young, old, whoever fought for women's rights, they fought a little too hard because They want to go back to the times where the man would work. And this is the wild thing, right? The man will pay everything. But this is the wild thing. They don't see it as slavery. They see it as a good thing, right? They want to just be married. They want to just be able to have kids, be taken care of. If she can go back, shit time.
I think as a whole, like, women don't tell other women you look dumb and you don't look bright. Enough for me. Because sometimes I just be seeing things and then women be like, oh, yes, and I showed him and I got him. And I'm like, where? All I gotta say is, I thank God for the friends that I have because they are quick to call me all sorts of fools. Because honestly, some of you women think you got a got you moment. Oh, if my man won't pay for something, another man will. And it's like, but that's who you've decided to be your man, though. You've given up everything. You've done all this stuff for him, but you think you got a gotcha moment because another man's going to come and pay for something. At that point, do you think he really cares? It's like, I don't think it's like, we're too old to be thinking that if this guy doesn't want me, his friend will. Oh, Lord.
Yes. And a lot of times, actually, most of the time, they think they're telling a word, right? They're telling women the good word. No. Ladies that listen to that are damaged. You listen to Sprinkle Sprinkle, all you're going to get a lot of times is Sprinkle Sprinkle on the chin, because that's how a man will treat you. Manipulation can work in some cases, but nowadays it creates resentment because men see it coming a mile away. So I hope there's so many other men. If you're not listening to me, listen to somebody. Listen to a good word that's going to help you see things for what they are, because the way things are nowadays, we're at a standstill. And unless you see the truth and then you move yourself, a lot of times some men need to move to a land where they can find a wife. That's why I understand. I am I'm the, what do you call it? I'm the passport bro to the power. I am an expat who's been in the Philippines for 9 years. I will wish this for any man, right? Not only the woman better, the living is low, the cost of living. You know, I can live right now off of $1,400 a month. Yes, $1,400 a month I can live off of. Do you know people will kill for that? Like most people that are watching me now, their rents aren't even, or a lot more than $1,400 a month. I can live off that. That's a big thing.
How did you even start this whole thought of coming over here and meeting someone?
It's a bad marriage. Trying to do the dating market in America at my age, it's not happening. I started hearing about Southeast Asia, specifically about Philippine women, traditional values and their morals and their good looks. What am I doing sitting here when I can go there and maybe find something I've been looking for my whole life?
Alona, what about you?
So I'm trying to go a foreigner that believe that marriage first before. So I find him.
Big on that, because I'm not trying to offend anybody. I know a lot of Filipino men. I have them in my family, but the ones that are for the streets try to make the woman here for the streets, and a lot of them aren't going for it, right? They know they get rid of foreigner, he wants to get married, and they do too. And they want to have children, lots and lots of babies, and they want to cook for you and raise the babies and take care of their mothers and fathers. I've been living out here for the longest, and I see that all the time. I love it. I saw it dying in the West. I saw it still alive here. Best thing ever.
How do you describe the experience of waiting?
You know, I'm a man. I'm hungry. I can wait for the good meal. Any much longer than that, game over.
I heard that.
Women that are less attractive treat you better.
I can see it. I
Will go for the 10s and the 9s because of the looks, but don't really get treated how they want to be treated for real. You really pouring more into them than they pouring into you. You goddamn trying to make sure they good, buying them, taking them out, checking on them. They ain't giving that in return. Not all of them, but most of them. Now you come across these 5, 6, 7.5s. They are most likely to treat you way better because they know that, especially if you're a high value guy, they gonna make sure like I want to keep this. I'm gonna make sure I keep around.
So how many 5s or 7.5s you got?
5?
5. You said 5, then you said 5, 7.5.
I got like some 7s. I deal with 7s. I don't really try to judge them on that, but I know they ain't like the.
That's so true. And guys have realized it, and there's no coming back. We will never be back anymore. Once we go for a woman that will tolerate us, not tolerate us, I said it wrong. Once we go the woman that will cherish us, that's what we're looking for, to be cherished. Like the woman that you saw saying, oh, you want to be treated like a princess. No. We want to receive reciprocation, and we'll show it back.
I cannot tell you how much guys love when girls do this. I'm telling you, if you do this, you might get wifed up within the next few months. Maximum a few years. If you as a woman can provide nothing but peace to a man's life, especially when his life is in absolute chaos, business is going crazy, there's fires to put out, there's things going on with maybe his friends or his family, like whatever that chaos may look like. If you can bring him peace in his life during these moments, that man is not only going to fall in love with you, but he is going to respect the hell out of you. And if a man respects you, you pretty much, you have him. Love comes and goes, but respect, I'm telling you, if you can earn his respect, I'm serious, it's a big one. And all you need to do is just bring him peace. It's actually not that hard to bring someone peace, but it does require you to have some self-awareness and obviously be very creative in the way that you're going to create that peace for him. So yeah, use this information as you wish, and as always, have an amazing day.
That's what I wanted, and that's what I needed. That's what every man needs. Men need respect. I found it in my wife, and that's why I made the decision to come over to Southeast Asia and live, was because of her. She showed me respect, and that's what I wanted. That's what all men want. It's nothing to get love. It was more than that. It was respect. And I'll tell you, I found my wife online, and that's why I decided to partner with Match Made in Asia, matchmadeinAsia.com. You know, you go there, you find a woman that will respect you and that will treat you right. And that's what every man wants at the end of the day. At the end, we want somebody to respect us, love us, and wants to be married, not just fool around. And that's what guys come here to get, because we realize it's definitely more to life than being with a woman that's not like that.
Living life in peace.